Okay guys, so welcome back to a new video here, and we got some pretty huge breaking news on Sunday night. Joe Biden has pardoned his son Hunter. This is coming from his gun conviction a couple of months ago, and I believe he was awaiting sentencing, but this is a major move for a variety of reasons. Number one, he's pardoning his son. This is extremely unprecedented, number one. Number two, his administration has said in the past that they're under no circumstance going to pardon him, and this is within the last few months. So, of course, Republicans are, and many moderate Democrats, too, in the establishment, for example, are losing their shit over this, basically saying, oh, he lied. I'm going to be honest, guys. My opinion, super based. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a smart decision. I think that, frankly, it's his son. The idea that anyone's surprised that he would pardon his son on the way out the door when he has literally nothing to lose is beyond me, the reason anyone's surprised. And then there's people I see, and, Nate Silver, for example, I'm seeing, like, Joe Walsh, for example, Trump critics, they're basically saying, oh, this is a disgrace. Now it gives Trump an excuse to do pardons as if he needed one. Guys, 5 years ago, pre-Trump, for example, pre-Trump presidency, maybe I would have been like, okay, you know what? Yeah, this is not ideal that the president is pardoning his son. I would agree with that. In a perfect world, I would not be supporting this. But this is a very different world, guys. Norms basically don't even exist anymore. The idea that Trump would even consider not doing this is insane. And, the critics saying, oh, it gives Trump an excuse. Guys, number one, Trump pardoned all of his friends, Steve Bannon, Michael Flynn, Paul Manafort. I mean, it's amazing, these people. It's as if it only processes to one side. Secondly, he was literally looking into pardoning himself, okay? And it's just bizarre to me. And to be honest also, guys, let's be honest. I mean, one of the big criticisms of Biden, and fairly so, of course, is the fact that he's looked incredibly weak the last few years, and I honestly think Trump probably would have pardoned Hunter. So then it's like, oh, so Joe's not going to pardon him, but Trump is? It makes Biden look even more weak. The fact that he basically gives a big FU to everybody kind of shows how, you know what, he gives no fucks. Let's just be honest, guys. And I think it's good for him. I think, again, the fact that people are surprised by this is wild to me. But we're already seeing a bunch of reports. And then it's like, oh, it's another example of corruption in politics. The charge was ridiculous. The charge was a gun charge that he was convicted on. I think it was for not signing a proper gun form or not registering or something, which is, there's tens of thousands, maybe even millions of Americans who do the same thing every year. The only reason why he was convicted is because he's Hunter Biden, he's Joe Biden's son. And that's exactly what Joe Biden released in his statement. Because, of course, the White House released a statement on this today. And guys, I'm sorry. I think it's a not surprising decision. I think it's fine. If it was actually a charge that was, not good, if it was actually a felony or something that you should be in prison for, then I would, of course, not support that. I would say, okay, then now it's not. But the charge itself is ridiculous. The idea that he would face jail time for this because only because he's Joe Biden's son, just goes to show you everything you need to know. And this is the statement from the White House, guys. I'm going to read to you right now. Today, I signed a pardon for my son, Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word even as I watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. Key words there, guys. Without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchase, people are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. 100% accurate, and it goes to show you how political it is. Those who were paying taxes because of serious addictions but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently, no question. The charges in this case came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unravels in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Yeah, they literally did, like James Comer, they literally bragged, saying, oh, because of our pressure, we got charges. Amazing. If it was the other way around, it would be the number one story in America still, like today. It's unreal, the hypocrisy on the other side. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's case can reach any other conclusion that Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution. someone blah blah blah. For my entire career, I followed a simple principle: just tell the American people the truth. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, but as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected the process and led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father, key guys, why as a father and a president will come to this decision. Again, guys, he's a father too. Like, if he had won a second term, I'm not sure this happened. If Kamala had won, I'm not sure this happened. But now he's like, you know what? Trump's coming in. I do not care at all. I'm 80-something years old. Trump's going to do the same thing anyway. And he already has done, which is like people pretending as if he hasn't done suspect pardons in the past is ridiculous. Listen, I mean, it's obviously controversial. I feel pretty strongly about my opinion. I think it's fine, totally good. But, of course, I understand why people would say, oh, it's corrupt. Because it is a little, like, unfair. The president can just pardon his son. Like, where else can you do that? But it's obviously politically motivated. And Trump probably would have done it anyway. So it just makes Biden look weak that he lets Trump do it. I think that's another key thing, too, that probably isn't going to be talked about as much. But I think that's super important. Biden wanted to do it himself. He's the president. Doesn't want Trump to pardon his son. I mean, it's pretty humiliating. I think he's been humiliated by him enough. But yeah, crazy stuff, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this video. It'll be interesting to see the reactions from this. And let me know in the comments what you guys think. But the big news, Joe Biden pardoned his son Hunter in a historic decision releasing tonight on Sunday. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.